What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. I'm joined by Christy, and we're here to review Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 1. Now, we're going to go into spoilers. We're going to be talking about just spoiler things in the episode, kind of just giving our quick impressions of this episode. And on Tuesday, we're also going to have a discussion video, a theory video, talking about Season 8 in general. So if you're into Game of Thrones theories, we've had videos talking about that, and we're going to be continuing that also on Tuesday. So I'm going to hand over to Christy for her quick thoughts on this episode.
Boy, that episode was that. It was just that. That's my reaction to it. It was amazing, but it was also, I don't know, it felt rushed. There was a lot of people, coming back together. There was a lot of reunions. There was a lot of just family bonding and everything. And then there was a lot of not so great bonding and coming back together. And I don't know, it felt very rushed, which I understand. There's a lot of characters coming back and they kind of have to forcefully, just shove everyone into everyone quickly, but I feel like, I don't know, it was just a bit too rushed. But I loved it. I loved every second of it. The Jon and Arya reunion was everything I ever wanted it to be and more. I loved that he picked her up off the ground and kind of spun her a little bit. That was just fantastic. It was the big brother reunion I was waiting for. But I had to say, I was disappointed the Hound didn't give her a hug. I was kind of hoping for that moment. I feel like I really wanted the Hound and Arya to hug, but it wouldn't be in her character or even his character. He's not a hugger or anything, so, it makes sense. I just kind of wanted it, because he was like an adoptive father in a sense for, in a weird way. But yeah, overall, I really liked that reunion. I think it was perfect. I loved her and Gendry's reunion. I liked that he called her my lady. It was a funny nod to when they had been together before everything crazy happened. And Sansa, man, if there was ever such a thing as resting bee face, Sansa has it. She was shooting daggers at Daenerys the entire time. She clearly does not like her at all. But I don't know that it's because she really values the fact that she's trying to protect her family. Because honestly, I feel like Sansa is, in a way, just doesn't like Daenerys because Daenerys is literally the only one out for power against Sansa, and I feel like that's why Sansa doesn't like her. It's like that whole thing. It's more so that she just doesn't like Daenerys because Daenerys is the one who can go against her, who can take over the realms and take over the north and everything with it. And Sansa, I feel like she kind of wants power at this point. She's been through a lot and all she wants now is to just be on the top so no one can tell her what to do or make her do anything anymore. She can have control completely of what she wants to do and everything like that. So that's why I feel like she doesn't like Daenerys. But other than that, Daenerys and Jon's ride was super adorable. I love that little moment. I think it was a cute moment. And boy, her telling Sam about murdering his brother and dad, that was intense. But at the same time, Sam in the moment, he's pissed off. He's mad. He just found out his dad, who was a jerk anyway, died. But he also found out that his brother died. And his brother was nice and he liked his brother, so that kind of sucked. But at the same time, Daenerys told him. She could have found out his name. She could have turned around and was like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep this fact to myself. But she didn't. She turned around and she was like, yeah, I killed your dad and your brother, sorry. And she let him go have his moment. And I think she stood there too, even before he asked if he could go. She stood there like she wanted him to yell at her, but she chose to tell Sam instead. And I feel like that's just, if Sam took a moment, he would kind of realize that was just a very honorable thing for her to do too, because he's just been sitting that whole time telling Jon, you should be the king, not her. Would she have done the same? Would she have done this and this and this? But it's like, well, she did tell you. She could have hid it. She could have not told you what she did, but she told you, knowing that full well that, you could have, I don't know, turned against her at any second, but she told you anyway. So I feel like that was an important moment. I feel like it's important that she was the one to give the news to him about killing his father and brother. And the whole episode in general felt really great. I loved all the little moments they put in too between all the characters coming together. Where was Brienne though? Where's Pod? Where's Brienne? Where's all of them? Those are weird moments. Well, not weird, but where are they? Everyone gets all these coming togethers, but where's Brienne? But I guess who would Brienne really reunite with without Jaime coming back? But Pod could at least reunite with Tyrion again, even though they sort of reunited a little bit before, but again, they could reunite again. But yeah, so there was that whole thing. And then the way the episode ended, man, I mean, Jaime shows up, and then Bran's just sitting there staring at him. And it's like, oh, yeah, I pushed you out of a window 7 seasons ago. You know, like, what a way to end it. What a weird way to end it, I feel like. I mean, it was amazing because Bran's like, I know you're going to show up, so I'm going to be here when you show up because I know everything and all that. But it's like, okay, well, we'll just end it there. It's an awkward moment. And it's probably not going to start right where it left off either. It's probably not going to start with Jaime walking up to Bran like, hey, about 7 years ago, I'm really sorry I pushed you out of a window. You know, I doubt it's going to start like that. But next episode looks really good. I saw the previews for it, and I'm really excited, and I can't wait till next week.
Yeah, I really liked the episode. I thought, it was kind of filled with a lot of smaller moments. So like Christy was saying, like kind of the reunions and everybody coming together, I think, were the biggest parts of this episode. There were a couple of obviously big moments. Jon finding out who he really is. Sam finding out, that his dad and brother died. There were moments like that. I guess Jon riding the dragon. There were big-ish moments. But to be honest, I feel like the big-ish moments of this episode were kind of handled in a speed run fashion where it didn't really do exactly what I thought it would do. Again, I thought like the Jon thing, I felt like that would just be more impactful, and when it actually wasn't. I did like the reunion between him and Arya, so it had, some of its big moments, you could feel it, but I don't think I would take that away from the episode at all. I feel like this episode was, the last 2 episodes of last season were the calm before the storm, and I feel like this was literally combining that. This is literally the calm before the storm, where we get to see all these characters again, we get to see everybody reunite with everybody, and it's really cool, and it's nice to see characters that we haven't seen talk to each other in a long time talk to each other, but we see a lot of preparation because, like, we know we only got 5 episodes left, right? We only have so many minutes even with these characters that are left, and we've been with them for a very, very long time. So I feel like you feel that there's a countdown going on in the background, and that's a really, tense kind of anxiety thing you feel when watching. I even feel like this episode, because and they show it in a couple of different ways, that like things are getting closer, things are progressing, there's a lot of trouble happening, there's a lot of distrust happening, but at the end of the day, like, this battle and this war that we know is coming is literally right at the, it's about to happen, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit later, but I feel like that was the ultimate theme of this episode, is kind of like preparing for what's really literally the very end. So I think that was a pretty powerful thing, and that's probably the biggest takeaway I would take from this episode. So guys, let us know in the comments below, what did you think of Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 1? Let us know. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And we'll be having a discussion/theory video on Tuesday, as well as reviewing every single episode when they come out. So next week for Episode 2, we will do the same thing. We'll be reviewing that episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.